Hello everybody and welcome to the Hearthstone Beta. We are starting a new series called Hearthstone Arena Mana and Sand. A name we definitely didn't choose because its acronym is HAMS. I promise. Anyway, what you're looking at here is the very beginning of an arena draft. We did some shaman last time and that was pretty fun, so I don't think we're going to do that again, even though we met with success. I think what we're going to do, I think we may actually play a warrior deck here. Yeah, you know, let's do that. Warriors aren't bad. So, man, this is not really a very tough choice because in arena Murlocs are not particularly great. So, I mean, because there's no guarantee you're going to get other Murlocs. Constructed, you can get away with that kind of stuff, but not so much here. This Arcane Golem, man, it's a 4/2 charge for 3, but you give your opponent a little bit of a mana advantage, which is really rough trade. There are just better cards that do this. Abomination can be cool in the right circumstances, and it's a little bit of taunt, so I think we're gonna go with that. Wisp, no, never in arena. Dread Corsair could be nice if we get some weapons, but there's no guarantee that we're going to. I think what we do here is we pick the charge up, because occasionally it's nice you can, and there's the weapon. But yeah, it's still nice to have the charge just for that, you know, immediate put something out there and beat something to death with it kind of play. Magma Reaper, not so much against anything that can plink, mages, stuff like that. That's just gonna go away. Rogue's gonna kill that immediately. River Crocolisk is okay. It's a decent, you know, 2-drop. But you know, it's made so much better by a hunter deck that we are not playing. Arcanite Reaper, solid card. Extra removal allows my hero to attack, so we're going that direction. Ooh, rough choice here between Shieldmaster and the Warsong Commander. I really like the Shieldmaster. This is one of the most solid taunts in the game as far as I'm concerned. 5 health makes it really tough to remove and decent amount of attack. So, but this opens up a lot of charge plays. You know what though? We already took a charge card earlier. We're going to take a little more taunt. It's turning into kind of a defensive deck. Card draw here. Charge play there. You know what? We may want that card draw later, so I think we're going to take the Cultmaster. Now we're offered the Dread Corsair again, which is more taunt, but we already have 2 taunts and we've only chosen 5 cards. So, I think what we do here is I think we take Execute. It's nice little bit of removal. You know, if you can plink one of their heavier creatures or something like that with like a 1/1 or 2/2, something like that, and it's still got absurd amounts of health, you can just pay 1 mana and eliminate it from the board. It's super useful. So I think we're going to take the Execute here. I know we're passing on all the Cochran elites right now, you know what? Offered another Execute. Maybe we don't want that much removal. Ironfur Grizzly is an okay card. Nightblade is an okay card. I think it would be a little more useful if it had a different battle cry, but 4/4 for 5 is solid, just a little on the underpowered side in my opinion. You know what? We're going to take more removal and pick up some creatures in the later picks here. Mogu Warden, not bad, except for the fact that it's only got 1 attack, and you know, people love to silence this thing, as I said in the past, what have you. War Golem, 7/7 for 7. It's, I mean, that's what it is, 7/7 for 7. Cleave, deal 2 damage to 2 random enemy minions, more removal, but we have 2 Executes right now. So here's what I think we do. I think we take the Mogu Warden, just for that extra taunt. Now, Voodoo Doctor, if, you know, this is not really a battle cry that's going to make a huge amount of difference. In all honesty, if, I mean, outside of a priest deck where they can do some nifty things and with heals, etc., not particularly all that great. Boulder Fist Ogre, very solid card. Ogre Magi, deceptively useful in a warrior deck. There is a lot of stuff in a warrior deck that is like deal 1 damage, deal, you know, 2 damage, etc. So having a little spell damage out there, actually not that bad an idea. And, you know, we're going to need those mid-range cards, but we don't have any real heavy hitters right now. So what I think we do, I think we take the Boulder Fist Ogre here. Let's see, Frothing Berserker. Minion takes damage, +1 attack. This is one of those snowballing cards that I know a lot of people like. Those are Drake, spell damage, battle cry, draw a card. Not bad, not bad. And it's a 4/4. 4/4 for 5. That's a very solid pick. Again, we only have the 1 weapon, so I'm really, you know... Oh, wait, no, this is the wrong pirate. My bad. This guy takes durability off of your opponent's weapons, which, you know, can be handy in certain circumstances, but I like to build my decks a little more general for Arena, because you never know what you're going to be up against. It could be a warrior or a rogue with weapons in their deck. Could be a paladin. Could be a mage or a warlock, and you're just never going to see a weapon. So... what I think we're going to do here, we don't have any 3-drops yet, so I think we're taking the Frothing Berserker, because if we get some other stuff like the, you know, Inner Rage and, you know, Cruel Taskmaster, stuff like that, Frothing Berserker syncs with them really well. No real big choice here. I think we go Warsong Commander. Opens up a lot of charge plays. Unfortunately, Core Hound just... like, for its cost, it's a little underpowered. Yes, it's a 9-hit, and it's got 5 HP, but, you know, you drop that on the field, and then a mage just fireballs it away, or something of that nature. You know, this would be the sort of thing that you polymorph, you hex, you yada to get rid of it. We have plenty of taunt, so I don't really need the shield bearer. So I think, yeah, Warsong Commander, definitely the way we go there. Ooh. Okay, so again, yes, it's a 1-drop, which is nice. Gives us something to play early game. I know people swear by these things sometimes. I personally don't like them. I've just watched them, like, ruin games for people who've played them. But, you know, RNG is RNG. We already have 1 Warsong Commander. I kind of think we take another Warsong Commander and hope for some early drops and later picks. And there it is, one of the best early picks, or early 1-drops in the game, the Worgen Infiltrator. I love this thing. It's basically 2 guaranteed damage because of this stealth. You can put it out there without fear of it being eliminated by much other than AoE. And unfortunately, it's put up against the Archmage. I mean, unfortunately for the Archmage, this is a fantastic card. I love it because it's got this weird stat combination on it and spell damage, which is really nice. So really, it was a choice between the two, but we need that early game, so we're going to go Worgen Infiltrator here. Again, Wisp, no. Shield Bearer, maybe. Oasis Snapjaw, almost never. 2/7 for 4, yeah, it's hard to kill, but what are you going to do with it? I mean, in a deck where you could buff it, like a Paladin deck or, you know, Priest deck, something like that, sure, absolutely. But here I think we go Shield Bearer. We get that early taunt. Okay, so here's what I was talking about. Cruel Taskmaster, bang, 1 damage, and give it +2 attack. You toss that on a Frothing Berserker, and just, you know, it gains 3 attack. It becomes a 5/3, just right there. So, that's that is actually a really, like, that kind of synergy is amazing. So, of course, then there's Fairy Dragon. Fairy Dragon, always a tough choice, because, you know, no hero powers, no spells. That's always so handy. But I think here we go Cruel Taskmaster. So now we're given the choice between Cochran Elite, Stranglethorn Tiger, Heroic Strike. I mean, this is not a bad piece of removal, you know, and it's decently cheap at a 2-drop, but, you got to look at what we're put up against, though. Pretty decent heavy hitter on this side of the field, pretty decent, you know, charge play on this side of the field, that doesn't immediately get removed by, like, a mage fire blast or something like that. So, this is really kind of a tough choice, but I think for this deck, we are definitely going to want that charge play. So Cochran Elite it is. Okay. Well, we have 2 Warsong commanders. We have a Cochran Elite already. We are still short a little early game, so now I think we take that Fairy Dragon. Okay, Fiery War Axe, not bad. Wisp, again, no. Please stop giving me these, game. South Sea Deckhand, you know, if I had been getting the weapons earlier, maybe. But up against the axe itself, we take the axe. Okay, so here we go. This is one of the cards I was telling you about. Inner Rage, bing, bing. You know, 1 damage, +2 attack, and just go to town. So, also, it's a little bit of removal. You know, I mean, you can use that on an enemy with 1 health left, or 1 health in general, to just get rid of it, and it costs you nothing. So, it's a very solid pick. This Ancient Brewmaster, very solid creature. It's 4 for 5/4, and you get to return something. So, you know, if you wanted, say, you know, your Abomination or your Boulder Fist Ogre or something like that back, you could have it back. Or if you got something that has a nifty battle cry, you can play it again, get that battle cry. But here I think we go Inner Rage. I'm a fan of the buffs. Manaroth. This is such an odd card, because it just increases the cost of minions across the board by 1 for you and your opponent. And, I mean, if your opponent's not really expecting it, it can really screw up the tempo. It can make some cards utterly unplayable, like Deathwing, stuff like that. But here in Arena, Deathwing is not something you see very often, much less get to use. Let's see, upgrade. Give +1/+1 to a weapon, or get a 1/3. It's an okay card. We only have the 2 weapons. The Fiery War Axe and the Arcanite Reaper down here. So it's not going to be that huge a buff to us. Still need some early game. Master Swordsmith has got a solid mechanic on it if you can put it up behind a taunt wall or something like that and just let him work. And, you know, you might even get some damage out of him or something like that. You might get a couple of low-end trades. So I think Master Swordsmith is where we go with that. Dark Scale Healer, again, in a priest deck or something like that where you can really make use of those heals, sure, absolutely. Here, however, oh man, well, we already have 2 Warsong commanders, so I don't really think we need a 3rd, even though we could. It's Arena. We can actually ignore that 2-card limit to a deck. Honestly, I think here what we do is, I kind of want to take the Nightblade, in all honesty. Which could be a mistake. I don't know. I'm sure that someone's going to scream at me in the comments, but Nightblade is what we're taking. Okay. So, we've been offered, we have in fact been offered a little bit of card draw here, versus a silence. This is quite possibly one of the roughest choices I'm gonna make. Because Acolyte of Pain, with our stuff that, like Inner Rage and Cruel Taskmaster and stuff like that, he can get us cards. Like, absolutely. So, that would be nice, but we don't have any silence in the deck either. So, what I think we do is, I think we take the silence. Because there are just cards out there that are going to be so annoying, so hard to get rid of. Okay. Arcanite, this is really an Arcanite Reaper versus Girabashi Berserker choice is what's going on here. And, quite frankly, I don't think we need another Arcanite Reaper. Girabashi Berserker, on the other hand, super solid creature, especially in a warrior deck where you can, again, deal damage to your own creatures through various means. And I'm hoping to get a couple more Cruel Taskmasters or another Inner Rage or something like that. Okay, so right now we're looking. They've offered us some early game. Again, we have no Murlocs in the deck, so I won't be taking the Tide Caller. Again, constructed, absolutely. Play Murloc decks, stuff like that. Armorsmith, that's kind of a losing proposition. You don't really get anything out of it if you're doing well. Pint-sized Summoner, on the other hand, is a good card if you can keep it alive, especially if you can put it behind a taunt wall or something like that. So if you can, like, turn 1 Shield Bearer, turn 2 Pint-sized Summoner, and get a little bit of use of that out of this thing, amazing card. Super bullet magnety, and not as good as it used to be, but still a good card. So we're going Pint-sized Summoner there. Okay, now we have a choice. Bloodsail Raider gains additional attack if we have a weapon, which could be handy. Arathi Weaponsmith gives us a weapon. It's only a 2/2, but, you know, sometimes that can make the difference. It's not amazing, but it works. And with our with the, you know, kind of potential charge play, you know, weapon in hand charge play of the Warsong Commander, Bloodsail Raider could be a really big windfall for us. And then there's Ancient Brewmaster, but I think we go Raider. Right now, my buddy Max is laughing his ass off about the phrase "Go Raiders." Anyway. Let's see. So a little bit of card draw here, and a very solid creature, in all honesty. You can get some fairly favorable trades out of Gnomish Inventor most of the time. Nightblade, again, we have one, not a super solid creature. Cochran Elite, which is not a bad card. It's really not. It's a decent creature. It's 4/3 with charge. But, you know, we only have the Cult Master right now for card draw. So I'm thinking Gnomish Inventor's the one we gotta take just for that battle cry. A little bit of card draw there. Very much worth it. So this is a little bit this is kind of a choice, but I think we're going to wind up going Frost Elemental. Gives us a heavy hitter, and that freeze battle cry is not bad. It can, you know, lock up something big, give us a little bit of breathing room in clutch situations, that sort of thing. This is a very solid card. I just think up again in this situation, we're currently looking at our deck with a little bit of control and a decent creature, I think is the way to go. Gives a little more of that late game. Priestess Balloon, no. Just no. Again, not really a deck that does much with heals. Magma Rager, oh my lord. You know, if it had 2 health, it would be a decent card, but it doesn't. This is just way too easy. I mean, look at this card. That's a 3-drop that removes it before it gets to do anything. A 1/1 Elven Archer that gets dropped on the field can take this out. Mages, 2 mana, Fire Blast. I mean, just any form of removal gets rid of this thing before you ever get to use it. And it's, you know, it's just not a good card. It's really not. In all honesty, even though it's not the best card, I think we actually are going to wind up with a Priestess Balloon here. Well, actually, you know what? Ironforge Rifleman is a 2/2 for 3, but you know it gives us a little bit of removal, and I think that's what we're doing. I have changed my mind. We went Rifleman there. No, bingo. All right. So let's see. What are we doing now? So commanding shout. Basically, this is our last card choice. Commanding shout says nothing I got on the board can die this round. Sure, and it gives us a little bit of card draw. Not a bad choice. Abomination, more taunt, and you know kills hurts everything when it dies. Sun Fury Protector, it makes 1 to 2 taunts if you put it on the field next to something, and it's decently cheap. It's not a bad card, but we have, let's see, one. How many taunts do we have actually? Do we only have like 2? 2, 3. We've got 3 taunt cards, so 1 out of 10 cards is going to give us some taunt. Which is, not bad, but we have removal, we have control. I don't think we're going to need that much more taunt, in all honesty. Whereas this will give us a little bit of card draw and the ability to make some amazing trades we wouldn't be able to make otherwise. So I think we go Command and Shout here. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Warrior deck for the first official run of the series of HAMS. So, alright, I will see you in the game, guys.